your message to me.
Don't worry about it.
Good.
Is there a sign
You're good. Good to go. All right, opening of the meeting, we'll have a roll call.
Roll call, Barb Bend,
Here.
David Meyer,
Here.
Jeff Rude,
Here.
Bill Tripp,
Here.
Scott Ostrander is absent, and just for the record, Dan Nolan resigned. He has moved out of town. So we have a couple seats that we're working on filling for the zoning board. We wish Dan all the best of luck. They moved up by their daughter with the grandkids.
Any additions to the agenda this evening? With that being said, approval, do I get a motion to approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What did I just say?
All right, today's review and approval of zoning board meeting and public hearing meeting minutes from June 25th. Do we have a motion?
I'll move to accept the meeting minutes from June 20th. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Today's public hearing is 201 East Comanche, zoning change from residential R1 to commercial C1. Called to the order of open for the public hearing. That is the purpose of the hearing, right?
Yep.
All right. Applicant and presentation.
I think this is where I have to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
JT, do you want to speak for me? Okay. Just a quick introduction. My name's Adam Honeyotis. It's my wife Jessica, our two boys, JT and Jackson, and lots of people that came to support us. Appreciate it. For those of you that don't know, this is our second attempt to try and open a coffee shop in town. The first one failed pretty well right out of the gate. This time felt totally different from the last time. I just want to put that out there for those of you that are in the room that are kind of responsible for that. The mayor's office and Jen have done tons to help us along the way. And as far as the board goes, I think I owe you all an apology. Apparently, we put the cart before the horse. We always thought we were mixed use zoning from the time we bought the building. So our apologies to the board for jumping out ahead of you. For those of you that don't know, Jess and I moved to town in like 2016. Shortly thereafter, we bought the car wash downtown and tried to open a coffee shop. It fell on its face for a bunch of different reasons, but mostly small town politics. Then we bought the state park. We own the business of the state park. We've been operating that for 5 years, and I think it's going pretty well. We kind of had an opportunity here to turn our, what was once a 2-flat rental into a coffee shop. We think it'd be great for our little community here to actually have a place to sit, have some coffee, lunch, cold sandwich, lunch options. Nothing too big, nothing too drastic. It's still a small building. We're just trying to make it work. With that being said, we're here today because apparently we're zoned residential still, and we're trying to move to C1. First of all, with that being said, I would totally accept C1, and I'm not trying to argue it. I do believe that our building better fits a mixed use, similar to the building next door. I don't know if it's too late to fix that at this meeting. If at all possible, I think that should be the appropriate zoning for the building. Just because Jess and I don't have any plans of moving off the farm to the coffee shop, that doesn't mean that the next owner wouldn't want to live there. And it is still a residential space, and there is a livable space upstairs should the next owner want to do so. I think that it kind of hurts my resale value, my property value, and all around flexibility of the building to make it C1. But if that's what we have to do now, and then we have to revisit this to become mixed use again, I guess that's what we'll do. But that's my questions for the board. Again, I do wanna reiterate, this does not feel at all like the last time we tried to build a coffee shop. The last time we tried to build a coffee shop, it was no's, it'll never work, you can't do that, you can't do this. I've not felt that way throughout this process, and I do want to apologize to the board because we did think we were mixed use when we purchased the property, so. Any questions for me? Anybody? Public?
Well, no, but right
I'm
now,
happy to answer any questions.
right now we have questions of the applicant presenter by the zoning board and us people. I'm looking at the parking lot back
Yes,
here.
sir.
Do you know that the distance, I mean, is this gonna all be blacktop?
It would be permeable surface, so nothing that's a hard surface.
Meaning like you put like road grindings down or something?
Road grindings was my original thought, but we're concerned that that would compact too much. It would be like a loose gravel parking lot with, so that stays permeable all the time.
Where would the water runoff go if there was a very heavy rain? Which way would that go?
It would just go through if it's a permeable surface, right? It would go exactly the same place it's going today.
And this right here would be just left open then?
No, the whole area would be.
This whole
gravel.
area, this whole area would be gravelled in?
Yes, sir.
So no green space.
The green space would be parkways only, correct. And then from the backyard to the front, on the side yard. Correct.
It looks to me like trying to pull out of that proposed parking lot as you're going south and entering that alleyway. That house is so close. And granted, that house has been there before your parking lot. And my concern is anybody exiting that house on the north, and that family has young children as well. So that's my concern, exiting your parking lot right onto that alley. I don't know how to mitigate that.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, alleys are for both sides to use, right? So I don't really know, I don't have an answer.
Is there a telephone pole somewhere in this area?
Forward.
Or
You
like-
see there's a proposed 13-foot curb cut to get north of the garage. That 13 foot was set for us by the telephone pole. And it's MediaCom only, no power. That pole.
Adam, you said you were going to have coffee and lunch, anything else?
It's gonna be a coffee house and market, first of all. So when you first walk in the door, to the left-hand side will be local products, our beef and pork for one. And then hopefully, local honeys and jams and anything else we can procure locally.
What kind of hours of operation?
Typical coffee house hours, early morning to mid-afternoon, never close.
What are you gonna use the garage for?
Storage of landscaping and lawn furniture and to hide the trash. You can see there's a trash.
Never see where you got the trash on the side.
You're not gonna have, what kind of deliveries would you have for your business there?
It would be a once-a-week food truck delivery, probably.
When you purchased the property, you were under the assumption it was not C1, or you did
Mixed
think it was
use
C1.
was what we were under the assumption.
Mixed use.
Yeah.
When did you realize that it was still residential?
When the mayor stopped by and said, we have to meet with the zoning board because you're still residential.
Okay. There seemed to be a lot of construction that went on over the last couple of weeks.
Correct, yeah.
So apparently, permits were issued and it was just business as usual. Let's go ahead and put the porch 4 feet off the sidewalk because we assume we're gonna get what we need.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess why didn't things just stop?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've ever built a business. A stop is detrimental for months down the road. It may be a few days today, it pushes everything out. I have a purchase permit, I had your city inspector through multiple times, everybody was on the up and up. Until Mr. Mayor stopped by and said, hey, we got a zoning issue.
So our inspector, Jen, issued the permits in here,
He issued the permits,
but he issued them for commercial.
yes.
So he issued them in here, I would say.
Jump the gun.
Mayor? Is that fair?
Yeah, I guess it's fair to say that. What I'd tell you that property at one time, it was all commercial along the highway there. And in talking with Adam, I wasn't sure about the mixed use, but I knew it was all commercial. Seems like the place to have commercial.
I mean, it's either a main street or it's not, right? We're trying to build a small town or. So,
From the
Right,
sidewalk, I'm sorry, go ahead and finish.
so go ahead.
No, I was only,
I wasn't speaking.
okay,
Steve was gonna
I was gonna jump in now. For
We're
those
not
of
to the public yet,
We're not
though.
to the
We're
public
still
yet.
on the
Okay,
zoning board.
sorry.
right
So
from
hold the
the,
thought, please.
from the sidewalk to the curb, how much grass is sitting there?
I'm sorry, I didn't measure the park yet.
I just,
Yeah.
cause I
5, 6
mean,
feet?
cause I was looking like, if you took that curb to there, if that's possible, and then everybody could just come in and pull straight in.
I
And
would,
not-
I would love to do that.
I mean, and then we would never have to bother the alley and then worry about the kids.
I'd be more than happy to cut more curb, but that's normally the holdup in a zoning board meeting.
That's
So
it.
if you're okay with curb cutting, I'm okay with
I
it.
mean, that's what I look at, to where then you could just take from the street, blend, they go over the sidewalk
Right.
a little bit and then go into your parking.
Right.
And
And
then,
then I could even leave green space between our parking and the alley, so that hopefully people.
I mean, I'm just thinking leaving this all green
Right.
from back, back here.
I'm sorry, can I come?
Sure, yeah, come
Talking
in,
about-
yeah, you can walk here.
And just, this is great questions and great answers, but just a reminder, we're here to determine the zoning classification,
Gotcha.
Go ahead
not
and
the
just-
building specifications.
I just said like, leave this all green still and then just have everybody just push through there.
Yeah, I would be,
I mean, then that would alleviate the alley
Sure.
issue and then,
Right.
That's how I.
right, or you could even just stop here so that you can still have a drive,
Mhm.
around.
Okay.
It-
Oh, okay, so you're actually, we're talking like,
Right, that way you can get in and get around.
all right.
I'm gonna end up having, I'm sorry. I don't
No,
know.
that's fine.
I'm gonna end up having to pay a small portion of this
Gotcha,
for a handicap unless they'll allow me to use this parking space as handicap.
gotcha.
It would be nice because the sidewalk's right there, that'll work great, but
Okay.
that's future issues. This is mine, right?
That's
Okay.
not mine.
Adam, what kind of signage are you planning on?
On the building only. Yes, sir.
And you're not modifying the basic structure that you have right now. I see that you've extended off with the porch,
Correct.
and you're planning on using that as,
Existing space
okay,
is as you see it.
any additional lighting, exterior lighting?
I can't answer that totally. I'm certain that there would be some sort of an exterior light shining toward the building that would have the sign on it.
Okay,
Again, we're closed early in the afternoon, so that would go off. It would come on early in the morning to indicate that we would be open, I'm sure. It would be on that existing roof, the rain roof that you see over the front porch shining back toward the building.
yeah, okay.
Nothing shining to the roof.
Can you speak to the impact to the community?
I mean, I'd be happy to.
Let me direct you a little bit, as far as jobs and economic impact.
Sure. Does everybody remember that there was a coffee truck at our car wash for a couple of years there? It wasn't by accident, right? A young man approached me, wanted to put a coffee truck. I said, no problem. I'm looking to do a coffee study anyway. This would be great. He put it on one of our properties. He did really well in Shabana, and his only response to us is, I would have done better if I had set hours. Well, obviously a coffee house is gonna have set hours, right?
Gotcha.
We've asked all of our age folks that have young kids like us in town, what do they think of it? Their kids are driving to DeKalb to get coffee, right? So we can alleviate that, hopefully. Well, I can make a good enough cup of coffee for you. To be totally honest, that's not me. I just kind of build a coffee shop and these ladies will take care of your coffee for you. But it would be full-time employment for at least 2 people, part-time employment for more. Currently, it's employing multiple contractors from our area. If you drove by any day, you can see there's 5 or 6 guys working full-time trying to get it built. We're not trying to mess around. We'd like it to be open by winter. The quicker we can get it open, the better it is for everybody, in my opinion. That is not a selfish thing in any way, shape, or form. For those of you that know, the building's been empty for a year. You know, but once you start building it, you just gotta get it open, right? Because public talks, public opinion talks, they wanna see that something's coming, and when it's coming, they wanna know it's coming. So here we are, we're just trying to get it open.
If you received favorable change to C1,
Correct.
are there gonna be any non-conforming conditions as a result of that?
Well, if we're stuck with C1, we are not allowed to do a permeable parking space. Which that to me, for those of you that don't know, that's a $40,000 or $50,000 incident if I have to pay. It could be more, and it could be a cost to the city if we have to put in more storm sewers and whatever else to make that space run right. I would be, again, I'm asking for mixed use if at all possible to retain the property value. It fits in with the neighbor, it fits in with the neighborhood.
Doesn't C1 have this?
So mixed use is its own thing, it's the first time I'm hearing it in the public hearings for commercial, so we're kind of locked to that, because that's what was published.
Sure. Can C1 be mixed use? Does anybody have that answer? Because I don't know.
It could be mixed use to the extent that you can have residential in the second story, but not the first.
Okay.
Can you say that again? I didn't.
You can have residential on the second story, but not the first in C1.
Thank you.
The main level is not conducive to residential ever becoming a good. It's been totally cleaned out with beams, and it would be another remodel to ever make that livable. It's made to be a coffee house.
Any more questions? All right, we'll open it up to public comments. Go ahead, sir.
Name's Steve Kloppenstein. I own 203 East Comanche next door. And with the mixed use thing, well, first, I very much am in favor of this going in next door. Secondly, when I purchased that dwelling, that was October of 2015. When I was in talks of buying the property, I talked to then Mayor Claudia Hicks what status that dwelling was. And first I was told it was residential. Beth Ainsley was the selling real estate agent, and of course she wanted to sell a house. She heard that there could be a problem about me purchasing this, wanting to put a business in it. What I was told was she talked to Cindy Barnes. Cindy Barnes did a bunch of digging. I got a phone call from Claudia Hicks a little while later stating that my property is multi-use. There was some talk that I would have to fill out a special use permit, notify everybody within 250 feet, something like that. And they said I could stop that process. My dwelling is multi-use, which makes a lot of sense to me. And I didn't have to do a special use permit. And I bought the property and put my business in.
Can I just state for the record that stretch of property from 201 East Comanche going east to the Schrader's house out towards BP has been zoned residential since 1980. There's never been a voted on change to change that.
I'm,
So unfortunately,
yeah, I'm just, that's what I was.
we're
told when I
working
bought
with
it
the record
11
that
years ago. That's-
stands based on,
Yeah,
what
I
was
didn't ask for any
approved.
documentation on it. They said I was good to go, so I took it at their word.
and that's fine, you took it at the word of the village president at the time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Jerry Foster with Resource Bank. Just a couple things I wanted to talk in favor of this project too for the village. It's something that's very consistent with all the planning that has been done in the community over the last 5 or 6 years. As far as the mixed use portion, my understanding is it can be C1. Now, Kellen, if it's the upstairs, but it could be C1 and mixed use. So maybe that's the definition or how that's applied. But if it's zone mixed use, it gives the village and the owner and future owner a whole lot more flexibility moving forward. And one of the things I would just point out is that if somebody tries to get a loan on it in the future and it's zone commercial, then, their terms on that loan are gonna be 5 to 7 years. Probably max, you might be able to go a little longer somewhere, I don't know, but, if it's residential or mixed use, you probably have the ability to do a long-term loan on that, 20 to 30 year. That would make a big difference, in the resale opportunities that you might have down the road. And lastly, I would just say you've got some great operators. They've already proven themselves in this community. Wow, is all I can say. What they've done at the state park. I hope this works out, that we can get it done, and that I can come get a great cup of coffee pretty soon. I have another meeting, so a lot of fun, everyone.
Thank you for your time.
So we have to deal with just commercial, we can't do commercial and multi-use?
Because it can't be mixed.
We would have to hold
You'd have to
another
have a
meeting
separate
to do
meeting
that.
for mixed.
Cause it has to be what the public
'Cause this is
hearing
what's on
notice
the
was
agenda,
published
that-
for and what's
you know.
on the agenda.
We couldn't do both. Okay,
No, at some time it can come back if he wants to come back and make it mixed use,
okay,
but this is for commercial.
thank you.
We'll recognize Jared.
I owned Steve's house years ago, and I was gonna open up business there. I talked to Fritz Bandry, he's mayor at that time, and he said it was, I can't tell you, mixed use, commercial, I could do whatever I wanted to in there with the business. I changed my mind, I made it rentals. I'm in favor of what Adam wants to do, for the record. I don't know all the details of that stuff. As far as that lot and watershed, my family owned that house that Steve's in for years. I never seen any water in there, never. So, runoff, I don't think so.
No, and I can't imagine the elevation of the parking lot ever getting near high enough that it would be a concern
Okay,
for
I mean,
me.
it's just a
Yeah,
concern.
yeah, no, and I appreciate that, but
I mean, I just don't wanna be you put in a parking lot and all of a sudden you get a heavy rain, then all of a sudden you got a lake in your backyard.
right,
There's no runoff there.
Okay,
no,
that was my concern.
yeah, no.
I mean, I can see where you think there might be, but like I said, I've been around for too long. And very little runoff.
Okay. Any more public comments?
I might comment just a minute as a landowner though. And the zoning portion has been for years. When I bought my business at 300 East, I was told it was industrial. So the zoning has been spoken about wrongly for years. Steve had a question on it, and Adam had a question on it. My zoning changed, I felt my zoning changed. I bought it and there was an industrial it was an industrial use. Commercial to me seems to be the way to go with that. And hopefully we can go farther east with commercial. Hope we have some commercial type businesses wanting to come in there.
Frank, why wouldn't you wanna go mixed use? to benefit?
I don't know about mixed use, I don't know. Our zoning code calls for 2 acres for mixed use. So I don't see it fitting mixed use unless we change that. And yes, there needs to be some zoning change. For this project, commercial seems to be the proper zoning. And I echo Jerry's comments, these are good operators.
Yeah,
We've seen what they can do. They're here with their kids. I'm totally in favor of this.
What's Screamer's zone as?
Pardon me?
What's Screamer's zone as?
Commercial.
Any other public comments?
You have an email.
Oh, that's right. You gonna read it or me?
I will.
Okay.
So, as a resident, Angie Dower, who lives 2 houses west of 201 East Comanche, wrote to support the zoning change at 201 East Comanche. Her block is zoned commercial. That's the last of the commercial before across the street where Adam is. Although she doesn't use her house as any commercial capacity, she has cars, trucks, boats, and RVs parked in front of her house on Route 30 regularly for access to downtown businesses. She would not be bothered at all with more foot traffic in front of my house. In fact, I would delight in the ability to invite my friends to walk to the coffee shop just 2 doors down. I hope the zoning board as well as the village board will approve this request for a zoning change.
Any other public comments? All right, we'll close that and we'll go to staff statements.
So this would be any trustees or employees of the village speaking from their positions.
I'm in favor of it. And I live just down the street. So yeah, I'm in favor of what you're doing.
All right, after that, presenter, got any final statements?
Thank you for your time.
All right. We're gonna close do I have a motion to, close the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Findings of fact for 201 East Comanche zoning change from residential R1 to commercial C1.
We need to go through it. It was in that separate
This one?
packet, yeah, it was behind that.
Or this
sheet,
one
yep,
here?
that one. So the first page in front of that was the page out of the comprehensive plan. That's labeled page 59 at the bottom right, neighborhood business.
Okay.
That if you didn't get a chance to review that from the email yesterday or the printout, please do. Because the first statement is based on the comprehensive plan. So let me know when you're.
I think based on this, portion of the comprehensive plan, this proposed business does in fact, support the comprehensive plan.
So that would be the consistency of the proposed amendment with the village's comprehensive plan.
Correct.
So that would be a yes or no question.
Yes.
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 The consistency of the proposed amendment with the intent and general regulations of the zoning ordinance.
I think we got a little stickler there with the permeable parking. If it goes to C1, we're gonna end up with a non-conforming C1 because of the parking being permeable.
So that's not for the zoning amendment per se,
True.
but something like that could have a reconsideration during the plan review process, could come back to the zoning board for variance.
Yeah, that's
If
what-
it's not in the code, we'd have to read the code though to see how it's worded in there.
So we could issue
There's no
Condition.
contingency, it would be just, are you, for changing the zoning, does the proposed amendment with the intent and general regulations of the zoning ordinance, is it consistent? So,
yes, with
That would be
with the exception of that one item. Can we put
just a yes or no question.
okay, yes.
I'll go yes.
Yes. With commercial, that parking lot will still be there.
Yes, we'll have to review what the regulations are for that and see what the options would be. But that, at this point, that doesn't impact the purpose for being here for commercial residential.
Thank you.
Whether the proposed amendment corrects an error or omission, adds clarification to existing requirements, or is more workable than the existing text, or reflects a change in policy.
Doesn't seem to be applicable in this case, doesn't it?
Well, the property's on Route 30, so the consideration is it's correcting an error or omission that Route 30 properties should be zoned in the commercial, not residential. Everything going west of there is zoned commercial.
Yeah.
Everything across the street from there going east is zoned commercial.
They are commercial buildings as well, though. This
No, there's some residents too.
Well. I guess there's more commercial buildings on the north side than the south side.
I guess the answer is yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
The extent to which the proposed amendment would be in the public interest and would not serve solely the interest of the applicant.
I think that's a definite yes.
That's definitely yes.
Yes.
The extent to which the proposed amendment creates nonconformities. And this is the residential to commercial.
No. It creates non-conformities, yes.
Yes.
Or,
Yes.
David?
Yes.
The implications of the proposed amendment on all similarly zoned property in the village.
This is a precedent setting, so I guess all these residential ones here could in fact be
Turned into commercial.
So it does have an impact. I don't think it's a negative impact, so it's good.
Since there's already one there and the neighbors don't seem to mind, I don't see that it would create it. It would not be.
So if we got another request along that line, that's fine. I mean, we,
That seems
To
right.
make
as a
another
city, we
building
would be looking
commercial.
for that. Yeah. So it doesn't create anything, any negativity, I see.
And just as a note, the houses on the south side of 30 on the west end of town as you leave town, all that's commercial, right up to the field.
The apartment building and all that.
Well, the apartment building, we changed to mixed use
The west.
because it's multifamily.
West of the apartment building.
Yeah.
That was last September.
Which is what my property was.
So does it set a legal precedent essentially, that you could do the same thing for other properties that are currently residential?
Right. Okay. That'd be nice. I don't know, based on all the answers here, it's like to me, we're ready to make a motion.
So that last question, David and Jeff, are you yes or
Yes.
no? Okay. So based on the findings of fact, it would be a motion to recommend amending the zoning to commercial.
I'll make a motion here.
I'll second.
All in favor?
No, we'll need a roll call this one.
Oh, yeah, roll call.
Did I write down wrong on that?
Said all in favor?
We gonna have any discussion on this?
Oh, yeah, discussion.
Oh, discussion and recommendation for 201 East Comanche zoning change.
Now we can have discussion with the motions.
I guess we've talked about the parking lot
Yeah.
and, we've come up with some ideas, but we really don't have anything definite. We talked about possibly having a curb cut coming in from the west, not using the alley, but I like that better than exiting into the alley, but I don't know if we could.
We'd have to consult the city engineer on that, wouldn't we? Probably.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, that's the only thing I would like to see is just come in that and just totally leave the alleyway alone.
Would that be a condition you'd be able to accept?
I mean, I'm happy to accept any and all conditions as far as we can get going. That, when you're building something, everything comes down to cost, right?
Sure.
If you're talking about putting a 20-foot curb cut, it's 20 times $35 a foot to have the actual curb cut. And now you're talking about 20 times 6 for concrete that needs to be poured. So it's not, please don't hear me as, I don't want to do that, but here, it's a large expense that we're happy to try and make work. So I know there's a lot of talk about parking, and let me just stop you. We only have a capacity of interior space for 15. We already have the parking. As far as the code goes, we don't need a parking lot. We want a parking lot. We want it to be more conducive to events and farmers markets and other small vendors coming to serve out of our parking lot. We want all those things. We want it to be a community-based business. With that being said, I'm happy to have all those conversations. Let me sell some coffee before you make me put in another 13 yards of concrete, if you don't mind.
Any other further discussion or recommendations? I'm not ready for a hearing now.
Roll call.
Oh, we got to do the roll call. Yeah.
Roll call to approve amending the zoning of 201 East Comanche to commercial C1 with the request from the zoning board that options on the parking lot exit be considered further. Barb Bend,
Yes.
Jeff Rude,
Yes.
David Meyer,
Yes.
Bill Tripp,
Yes.
Scott's absent, motion carried. So we're on number 7.
Adjournment, do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.